You ever notice how some words just stick with you? The right word at the right moment can make you sound smart, confident, maybe even unforgettable. Let me give you a quick example. The word gracious. It's more than just being polite. It means showing kindness in a generous and elegant way. Compare that to simply calling someone nice. Nice is fine, sure, but gracious? Now that's memorable. So, here's a tip. When you learn the definition of a word for the first time, think about a moment that you could actually use it, like thanking a colleague. Instead of thanks, you're nice, say thanks, you've been so gracious. That one little swap changes the whole feeling. So think about it like this bow tie. Sure, you could wear a clip on, quick and easy, but tying it properly, that makes people say, wow. It's the same with your words. And so you're going to want to stick around because today we're going to talk about some epic vocabulary that can instantly boost your communication. And hey, if you've got questions about words that you want explained, drop them in the chat and I'll answer a few live at the end. So let's jump right on into it and I'll introduce you to Clara. Clara used to, or does, work at an international company in Hong Kong. She had good ideas. But in meetings, she always chose the most basic words. She'd say things like, "This project is good," or "I think this is important." Nothing wrong with that, but nobody really paid much attention to that. Then one day, she used a different word. I suggested, instead of good, why don't you broaden that vocabulary? She said the plan was compelling. Wow, this made the heads turn. People sat up straighter, and suddenly her voice carried weight. Why? Because words matter. The words you choose change how people see you. So, what are some of these powerful words and how can you use them naturally in conversations? I'm going to introduce you to about 15 new words, but I'm going to bring back somebody you haven't seen in a long time. It's been a while. Let's bring back Mr. Chip. And as you see, I've got Mr. Chip on the screen here. So let me unmute my microphone and pay attention because you can use ChatGPT to talk and practice your speaking. So, Mr. Chip, it has been a while since we heard from you, our co-host, and I'm bringing you on to talk about something practical, elegant vocabulary. Words that carry weight and style. Say hello, Mr. Chip.
Absolutely. Happy to jump right. Hello, hello.
All right.
I am ready to dive into some elegant vocabulary.
Okay, great.
Let's add a little style and substance to
hold on, Mr. Chip. I'm gonna lay down the instructions for you.
We'll keep it smooth and stylish.
Okay, let me lay down your instructions. Listen carefully. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to introduce a word. I'll give the audience...
Sure thing. I'm all ears.
All right, listen now while I'm talking. I'm going to give the audience a definition of the word, and then I'll ask you, Mr. Chip, to share an example sentence. Also, share a useful situation or a situation where this word is useful and how it can replace a more basic word. So think of this like an interview. We'll bounce ideas back and forth. Okay?
Absolutely. Got it. So you'll tee up the word and the definition, and I'll jump in with an example sentence and a scenario where it can shine. We'll just riff off each other like a good interview. Let's do it.
On. All right, let's do it. The first word on our list is compelling. This is an adjective. It means capturing strong interest, irresistibly interesting, or persuasive. Go ahead with an example sentence and the other stuff, Mr. Chip.
Absolutely. Let's put it into action. So you might say, she gave such a compelling presentation that everyone in the room was completely captivated. And a good situation to use compelling might be when you're describing a story, an argument, or even a piece of art that really grabs attention and persuades people. Instead of just saying interesting, you can upgrade its compelling to show that it's not just mildly interesting, it's truly irresistible.
Right on. Okay, the next one up is essential. Essential is another adjective. It means absolutely necessary or extremely important. You want to use this instead of just saying important. Go ahead, Mr. Chip.
Absolutely. So you could say something like having a good grasp of these vocabulary words is essential for sounding more fluent. And a great scenario for essential is when you're talking about something that's a must-have, not just a nice-to-have. Instead of saying, this is really important, you just say, this is essential, and it gives it that extra weight.
Right on. And next up is gracious. Gracious means courteous or kind and generous in your manner. You know, instead of saying somebody's nice, you might say, wow, they're very gracious. Right, Mr. Chip?
Exactly. So you absolutely. You've got it. For example, you could say, the host was so gracious, welcoming everyone with a warm smile and making sure they felt at home. And that just elevates nice to something a little more elegant and refined.
Very good.
So yeah, that's the idea. Just swapping in gracious to give it that classy vibe.
All right, good. Well, let's keep it moving because we've only got a few minutes. Transform is the next word. Transform means to change something dramatically.
Glad you like that.
In form or appearance.
In.
Go ahead. We're going with transform next, which means transform something dramatically. Okay, Mr. Chip, go ahead.
Absolutely, let's do it. So you could say something like, learning these new vocabulary words can...
We seem to be having some...
All right, so for transform, you could say, a few small changes to your daily routine can transform your productivity. And it's a great word to use when you want to emphasize a really significant change rather than just a small improvement. So...
All right, good. The next word, are you paying attention, Mr. Chip?
All good. If we
all right,
hit a little bump, we can just keep it going.
All right.
Sometimes these transformations come with a tiny bit of turbulence, but I'm right here with you.
Okay.
Let's roll on whenever you're ready.
Okay. A little bit less commentary. I just want you to give a give a sample sentence for each word.
Absolutely.
No, don't interrupt. I want a sample sentence for each word.
Right here and fully.
Are you finished? All right, the next word is inspire. This means to fill someone with the urge or the ability. And I've just realized I'm not sharing the slides. To fill someone with the urge or the ability to do or feel something.
Got it.
Yeah, go ahead. Mr. Chip, go ahead. All right, well, Mr. Chip
absolutely.
is taking
Here's
a sentence and a useful, or I'm going to cut you off.
For inspire, you could say his speech really inspired the team to think bigger.
Okay, good. Next up is clarity. Clarity means quality of being clear.
I'll keep it super concise
and easy to understand.
Just a quick sentence, and we'll keep it rolling. Let's jump to the next one whenever you're ready.
I'm going to turn Mr. Chip off because clearly he's having some connectivity issues. So, clarity.
You could say something like,
I'm going to shut him off now. He's done. He's done. All right. Clarity, as I said, is the quality of being clear and easy to understand, which unfortunately Mr. Chip was not being very clear, and he just generally talks too much. Now I remember why he hasn't been around in a while. If you want to use clarity, use this instead of using the word understanding. So you might say the CEO was good at communicating because he spoke with clarity. Okay, next up, we got to speed through this. The next up is reliable, consistently dependable, and trustworthy. My colleague is very reliable because he's always coming to work on time. Use this instead of good. Okay. Articulate is next. Ability to express ideas clearly is the adjective. Now, this is a special word because the adjective is pronounced articulate, but it also can be used as a verb, but it's pronounced articulate when you're using it as a verb. So I could say Susan is very articulate when she talks about her ideas. Or I could say Susan articulates her ideas clearly, right? She articulates very well. So the next up, professional. Professional. And we hear this word a lot. It means showing skill, competence, and respect in behavior or appearance. This is an adjective, by the way, so use that instead of smart. Yeah, we want to be professional when we're working. That's the kind of attitude your boss wants to see. All right, moving right along. Persuasive. Persuasive is another adjective, the ability to convince others through reasoning or appeal. You would use this instead of using convincing. An example, you could say, and I'm just making this up because I've lost my script. Mr. Chip was supposed to say the sentences. But an example of persuasive, you could say, Sam was very persuasive in the negotiation. So he won a new contract. Next up, resourceful. I hope you're a resourceful person. It means that you're able to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. Use this instead of saying clever. Someone is very resourceful when they're good at finding answers or finding solutions to problems. You want to be a resourceful person. Next up is innovative. Innovative means introducing new ideas, methods, or products. So you'd use this instead of saying new. When something new, some new technology comes out, we often say, wow, it's a very innovative technology. And I have to admit, ChatGPT is a very innovative technology, although it does still have its bugs sometimes. Unfortunately, tonight was one of those times. It worked really well when we were practicing. Next, the word is resilient. Resilient. Are you resilient? Are you able to recover quickly from setbacks or difficulties? Resilient. I try to raise my children to be resilient so they can recover from those setbacks. Use this instead of strong. That guy in the picture, he looks like he's a resilient guy. He also looks distinguished or recognized for excellence or having an air of dignity and respect. The president is a very distinguished individual. I'll let you figure out which president I'm talking about. So, versatile. Versatile, or some people say versatile. This means able to adapt or be useful in many different situations. Here's another good example. ChatGPT, Claude AI, these are great, versatile tools that you can use to do a large variety of different activities. Yeah, pretty amazing. Practice your English, hopefully with a better connection than we had today. Okay. I'm not going to bring him back. All right. So let's give you one real quick tip. How do you connect new words in your mind so that you can remember them more easily. My suggestion is to connect these new words with a story or a personal experience. That way you can remember it more easily. Next, you want to write it down. Get a little notebook. Write down the word in a short sentence. The best thing is to put it in a sentence because that is how you keep it in your mind. You put it in context. And then after you write it down, apply that to a real conversation. Use it tomorrow. So, what is one elegant word that we talked about tonight that you want to start using this week? Drop it in the chat and I'll share some highlights at the end of the show. Also, you can feel free to ask questions as well. I'm going to close up ChatGPT because he's not helping. Okay, so your challenge for this week, take one word from today's list. Maybe it's compelling, maybe it's resilient, and use it 3 times. Once in a meeting, use one word. Once in a casual conversation, and once in an email or a message of some kind. And then notice how differently people respond. Then I recommend you read the full breakdown and on the blog at allaboutenglishmastery.com. The link is in the description and the chat. And if you ever thought, I don't have time to sit through long classes or study for hours because I'm a busy professional, this is what's for you. I created the 10-minute daily system for confident English at work. So check out Mastering English for Busy Professionals. It's the course. There's a link in the description. And don't go anywhere because you know what time it is. It's time for the Mastery Minute. After I'm done with that, bring your best questions or drop your words in the chat and I'd love to hear them. All right. We're going to wrap up today's word list with one more word and an idiom. So it's like a bonus. So the word is eloquent. Picture this. It's 1863. Abraham Lincoln steps up to give the Gettysburg Address. He only spoke for 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's it. He used 272 words, and yet it is one of the most famous speeches in American history. Why? Because it was eloquent. To be eloquent means to express yourself with clarity and grace and power. You don't need to speak for hours. Just choose your words carefully and think about this next time you give a presentation. Aim to be eloquent. Short, clear, powerful, and unforgettable. Now, here's the idiom, and I know we gone over time, but I appreciate your patience. The pen is mightier than the sword. Ooh, what does that mean? It's an old phrase that goes back to the 1830s. A playwright named Edward Bulwer Lytton first wrote it. The idea is simple but powerful. Words and ideas often influence people and create change more effectively than force or violence. How can you use it? Well, imagine a workplace conflict. Instead of saying fighting won't help, you could say, remember, the pen is mightier than the sword. It shows that persuasion, communication, and eloquence are stronger tools than aggression. And that ties perfectly in with tonight's theme. Powerful words can change how people see you and even change the world. All right. So, I just realized I didn't share the slide. There it is. Look at there's Honest Abe right there. And there you got a peek. Okay. Now, coming up next time on Wednesday, we're going to tackle a situation every English learner faces. How to confidently respond when someone asks, "Do you speak English?" So I'll share some strategies, some phrases, and the mindset shift you need so you can answer with confidence, no matter what situation you're in. And you're not going to want to miss that one. Again, if you've got questions, drop them in the chat now. I don't see any. But I want to thank you for joining me on 15-Minute Mastery. I'm Dennis Wilborn. I appreciate you joining us. I'll see you next time. And remember, if this helped, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of the future episodes. And now we've done 20-Minute Mastery. See you on Wednesday.